Good afternoon, everyone. It's your girl V with Reality Recap here for your midday tea talk on last night's episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey. We had the season 14 finale. So much went on, so many bombs were dropped. I am fighting for my life today. I have a cold, so excuse the sniffles and the coughs. I got a cough dropping right now. But I just could not miss the opportunity to come in here and discuss last night's season finale of Real Housewives of New Jersey. We are streaming live right now across Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can comment. I'll read your comments, interact. If you're unable to watch right now, I know a lot of people are working, making moves. This video will be up afterwards on YouTube. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to my channel, and we're going to get into it. Anybody watch the season finale last night? Let me know your thoughts. If I had to rate the season finale last night, I'd give it an 8. I do think there were some parts cut out of the finale, definitely, and out of the season, honestly. We didn't see whatever argument between Teresa and Louis. I think there were more altercations in the final sit-down dinner that were not shown. But I would give the finale a 8. I think I'd give the overall season a 7. I think it was short. A lot of letting outside influences kind of honestly tear down the show a bit, to be honest. So overall season, I'll give it a 7. The finale, I'll give it an 8 because Margaret dropped a bomb. She has coined a new phrase: you subpoenaed the wrong bitch. I want that on a t-shirt right now, today, Margaret. Get that on a t-shirt. But I think it was a great season finale. So let's get into it. Now, we started off the finale last night with Jim Fessler going over to Margaret's house. They was over at Margaret's house, and Margaret told Fessler about the funeral arrangement that she has sent over to Teresa. So let me just recap shortly for you. Teresa held a sit down or a meeting at her house, and some of the girls went. Danielle, Jackie, Dolores. They went to hear what Teresa and her lawyer had to say, where Teresa said that she had proof that Margaret had been in touch with Louis' ex. You know that Louis has a long-term legal battle with his ex-girlfriend, and they had subpoenaed Margaret, which she did not show up, where they said they had in black and white that Margaret had been reaching out to Louis' ex and then trying to put those stories from Louis' ex out in the media. So that's what they wanted to say. Not a big jaw-dropping revelation, to be honest. We already knew that Margaret had admitted to reaching out to Louis' ex. And honestly, a lot of the women say that it's not hard to get in touch with not just Louis' one ex, but a few of his exes. Anybody in his past, honestly, have been reaching out to them and warning them about Louis. So Margaret let Fessler know that she sent that funeral arrangement over. Fessler almost fell out on the floor. It was hilarious. Definitely a gangster move by Margaret, and it was funny. I was on the floor last week when she sent that to Teresa's house. Teresa refused it, of course, and told them to return it to the sender. But it was definitely a chess move, not checkers. Now, y'all, I told y'all I got a cold, but I had to come on here, so excuse me. Sorry, I don't want to cough too much. I'm sorry, but the finale was just too good. I had to come on here. Now, in the midst of Fessler and Margaret's conversation, Dolores stopped by. And Dolores was letting Margaret know what Teresa's conversation or her sit down with her lawyer was about, where it was about everything that she's been going through, that Teresa's been stressed, again, that she's on Louis' side while going through this whole court case with his ex, and she let Margaret know that Teresa let them know that Margaret had been in touch with Louis' ex. Now, Margaret said that she wasn't in contact with the ex in 2021. when she's being alleged by Teresa that she wasn't in contact with them. Um, and then, Dolores kind of let her know that there was, what am I trying to say? Dolores was saying, well, there's not much difference in if you're reaching out to her ex or you trying to do this whole sit down powwow. Basically, Dolores is trying to say there's no difference in, Teresa having to sit down with her lawyer versus you trying to sit down and put all your pieces together before the last season's reunion, where was alleged to be a takedown of Teresa and Louis. Now, on top of that, Dolores was like, you did not let me know that you were having this sit down before the reunion last season. And Margaret's like, yeah, I did let you know. Dolores got really upset. Excuse me, y'all. This cold is killing me. Dolores got really upset. She was screaming, telling her, you did not. You're kind of trying to make me look like a bad friend. And for, as far as Teresa goes, model, is it? I'm trying to say, how you say her name? Model Esbon Bond Verts said, baby, they went to war. They sure did. Like, I get where Dolores was coming from. Like, don't question my character. If I said I didn't know, I didn't know. I think, maybe they recall the situation differently. But Dolores was heated, okay? Like, she was heated. Oh, let me drink some water. This cold is killing me. These kids, it's a summer cold. I got it from my baby, but we gonna struggle through this, y'all. But yeah, Dolores was upset. You hear me? She was like vein coming out the forehead, like, I did not know about your powwow. And they even cut to Jackie saying, like, indeed, when Margaret held that whole finale, reunion powwow about Teresa, it was definitely to take Teresa down. But I don't know, who do you guys believe in that situation? Do you think Margaret's telling the truth or Dolores is telling the truth? Margaret said it was kind of in passing, where she said to Dolores, like, hey, you probably won't want to come, but we're getting together to discuss, have a reunion review. I think they were all trying to get their ducks in a row, honestly, on the whole Bo Dietl situation, and make sure that they had their ducks in a row to be able to have a verbal sparring match with Teresa and Louis. I do think so. And I keep telling you, none of this stuff to me seems foreign. I believe most housewives get together and make sure that they have their ducks in a row before they go to a reunion. You can see it even in like the last reunion with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You can see them making eye contact when it came to Monica and things like that, and making sure they're all on the same page. Nobody wants to get on national television and get read for filth or be embarrassed. So I do think that's not foreign. I don't think it's foreign to be talking to people that know people on the show, trying to get tea on people to make sure that, again, you have ammunition when you're on the show or on the reunion. So none of it seems foreign to me. It's the name of the game, honestly, is how I feel. But I don't know. You guys let me know who you think, who you believe. I know Dolores to be a stand-up girl from Patterson. She don't really play that. Put some respect on her name. I honestly just think they may have recalled the situation differently. Excuse me. I think that they both may have Margaret may have explained it to her or said it to her and may have not registered. She said it in passing, what have you, but I think that there was some conversation had. I definitely do. Also last night, Danielle met up with Rachel Fuda and Melissa to talk about, again, Teresa's summit and give them the tea. I will say in that conversation, I felt like Melissa definitely knew or had some insight on Margaret speaking to Louis' ex. She was defending Margaret and saying, like, well, If you reached out, it's the same as you investigating or reaching out to Margaret's ex-friend, which in Aiden, she's kind of making a wash of y'all both was doing the same thing. Two wrongs don't make a right. They both did it, and that's what she was saying. But to me, it definitely was coming off like Melissa knew something about Margaret talking to the ex and kind of was just keeping out of it. See what else happened. Yeah, and that's what Melissa was also saying. Like, it's not hard to get in contact with Louis' ex or ex-girlfriends with a Z, people in his past. She's basically saying, like, people are coming out of the woodworks to talk about Louis. She even said that Louis' niece came up to her at a restaurant saying, like, be very afraid. And I do believe where there's smoke, there's fire, to be honest. If everyone has something to say about him, you can't overlook it. She said they was even they're reaching out through DMs, sending certified letters, all type of stuff. And there's a reason why, I do believe down in my gut, there's a reason why people are going to great lengths to just come after Louis or have this information about Louis. There's something not right with him there. And I will say, even in his conversation with Teresa last night, where he was saying, I want Margaret to suffer, I want her son to suffer, to me it was like, it's giving red flag. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but it seems like to me that even though Louis tries to make like he's all about peace and he's so kind, and they're making recordings for their wives of sweet renditions or whatever you want to call it, it definitely seems like Louis has an evil side to him that you have to be cautious of. And I do think the stress that Teresa's going through, they said she's, she only weighs like 90 pounds, even though Rachel said that's because she's on Ozempic. But I do think there's some stress there, and he's a big cause of it. I really do. But yeah, Rachel and Melissa, Danielle met up. She told them about that. She let them know that there was going to be a sit down that Dolores was hosting, because the place that they were supposed to go to on their final season cast trip burned to the ground. Which, if that wasn't a warning, I don't know what was. But she was having to sit down and let them know. So Melissa didn't seem too into it. She was kind of like, what are we doing this sit down for? It's nothing that's going to be accomplished. We're not going to walk away friends. And it was more so Danielle saying, well, we're here to put it out on the table. We're going to talk about it, put it out on the table, and move forward. We're going to get everything out we need to say. So, after that, we saw Danielle with her husband and her family carving pumpkins, and she reached out to her father. You guys know that she's having some issues with her father. She's not speaking to him because of the beef between her and her brother, and feeling like her father chose her brother's side. So she did reach out to him, but via text. He responded back with a really nice text saying he's proud of her and hope that she knows that. So I'm hoping that they can reconcile, not only with her father, but with her brother. We've seen this last season, this season too. So Danielle, wishing you the best of luck with your family and hoping that you guys can come together. Family is all you have at the end of the day. That's the honest truth. But, hoping that they can get it together. And after that, again, that's when we saw Teresa talk to Louis. Louis was asking her what's her plan for Dolores' dinner, and she was saying, like, I'm just going to go in and watch it unfold. And this is what I was saying. Louis was saying, like, well, he was calling Melissa all types of names, Margaret all types of names, saying he hoped that Margaret suffers, her son suffers. And it was like, whoa, bruh. And I think, I saw on page 6 this morning that he's catching some backlash for what he said. People were saying, it was like evil of him to say that, and it kind of showed a different side of him. So I agree that, like I said, there's definitely a side of Louis that we're not seeing on the camera, and it comes out in spurts in the different seasons, but I definitely think there's a meaner side to him, for sure. We also saw Melissa talk with Joe and let him know about the upcoming summit, sit down, powwow, ponderosa, whatever you want to call it, that Dolores would be hosting. And she was pretty much upfront with Joey, like, listen, if you want to make up with your sister, if you want me to go into this dinner and you want to make up, let me know now. Speak now, forever hold your peace. If not, I'm going to go in and handle like we've been handling. I'm going to pay her dust. And Joey let her know. Joe said, nah, I want you to handle it the way we've been handling it, you know, and it's time to walk away. I never want to see family never speak again. They are all they have. Both of their parents are gone. They're, you know, only brother and sister. So at the end of the day, like I just said, family is all you have. And I'm hoping that they can work it out. In the future, time heals all wounds. Maybe not right now, today, especially not after that season finale aired. But, you know, hopefully down the line, they can work it out. For the sake of the show, for the sake of their family, you know. At this point, we had the infamous sit down start. You know, Jeff Fessler and Dolores were there first. They were setting up the table and they had seating arrangements. They wanted everyone to sit across from someone that they had issues with. And it was giving mob wives to me, y'all. Everybody walking in their black or their fancy outfits with their furs and their big sunglasses and pocketbooks. It was definitely giving mob wives. I had to say, like, I miss mob wives so much, y'all. Like, I've been binging that at night on nights where there's no shows coming on Paramount Plus, and they were giving that vibe for me last night. Definitely big Jersey style for sure, with their furs and black leather and everything like that. I just thought that was good scene. And I really like Melissa's outfit, even though she didn't wear black. I liked her like braided skirt with the matching high heels. She looked really cute last night. Her sunglasses too. So the girls were given the fashion, the big Jersey fashion, when they walked into the dinner last night. I really enjoyed watching that. Jen and Danielle started off first. I felt like Jen was really offensive. I'm gonna be honest. Like, they started talking about the whole charity thing and how, you know, Jen had accused Danielle of paying herself back when she does charity out of the money that was raised. And Jen was saying, you know, Danielle was saying, no, that's not the case. You know, we pay the vendors or anything like that, but I don't pay myself back out of pocket. Jim was saying, yeah, I know you don't have money, so you have to do it this way. Like, that was real rude of her. I didn't like that at all. You know? Danielle was kind of coming back at her, like, yeah, you got the money, you got the house with 18 bathrooms, but there's no love in your house. And Danielle's husband, I had even said that when they had their little family conversation, like, why do you think Bill works 100,000 hours a week? He's sleeping in the pool house. Because they're not getting along. And I do think there's some truth to that. You know, Bill is definitely different. It seems like Jen is different from starting this show than she probably was when she wasn't on it. I don't think she was this tough and causing these many problems and issues and, you know, being such a loudmouth probably before coming on this show. So I definitely believe that. But what got Danielle was when Jen said, yeah, your husband got big boobs and you got the bra, kind of making light of his weight. And again, I thought that was very rude. And at that point, you know, Danielle loves her husband very much. She damn near jumped across the table on Jen. They had to be broken up. Danielle had to be taken to the bathroom. She started crying. And Teresa was in front of it and kind of like talking to Danielle, saying like, yo, you can't get violent, you know, you don't want me hanging around Danielle, but you still hanging around Margaret. And Danielle was like, it's not about you right now, this is not about you. Her veins started coming out too, so she went to the bathroom. And yeah, excuse me, y'all, they had to be separated at that point. And they were even asking if they asked Jen if she was okay with Danielle coming back. This cold is going to be a death for me, y'all. So Jen made light of it, saying like, Yeah, she can come back. I'm not threatened by her. Just have her sit down there. I'm not threatened by her at all. I said, okay, tough guy. So they didn't really resolve anything at all. Jen was just rude, in my opinion. It was terrible. And at that point, Margaret and Teresa started talking. And Teresa didn't really want to hear anything Margaret had to say. She was honest at that point, saying she did have contact with Louis' ex, but not before 2022. Teresa didn't believe her, like I said. And Teresa was like, you're dirty. And also got offensive when she said, you're dirty. You're sleeping with the plumber. I don't think that Teresa meant it in a way like there's something wrong with being a plumber. But it was more so a conversation of, or saying something to the fact, like, because we all know that Margaret cheated with him and left her husband. So I don't know if she meant it in that way. I don't think she meant to offend all plumbers. It's not how I took it. It was kind of like how people used to say back in the day, like, oh, you sleeping with the milkman. I took it in that manner. Y'all let me know what you think, but that's how I took it. Yeah, that's what I took from it. Then Rachel and Teresa got into it as well, where Teresa was saying, like, anything you're bringing to the table is coming from Margaret. Your family friend got this stuff from Margaret, and y'all putting it out. And at that point, Margaret jumps in and says, let me tell you my side of the story. Everybody be quiet. And she drops the biggest bomb, y'all. She said that she knows that Jackie is the one that has been talking to Louis' ex, and that she was the one that had the ex over her house. Now, at this point, Jackie looked like she shit her pants. Let's just be honest. And you could tell in her face she was guilty right then and there. It was like written all over her face. She tried to deny it, like, no, that's not true. You're trying to deflect. She went with the lie for a minute, and Melissa said, if you did it, you might as well be honest about it, because I'm sure there's receipts. And they cut to Margaret in her confessional, which showed that she had proof that Jackie had been in contact with the ex February 2021, right around the time where that video dropped of Louis when he was at some type of men's retreat. This weird video that came out of him. And finally, Jackie admitted that she had been talking to the ex, that she had met with the ex. And it was like, wow, girl. I'm not going to say I wasn't surprised, just because at the time Jackie was beefing with Teresa, because Teresa had came out with saying that Evan, Jackie's husband, was at some gym cheating on Jackie with some chick at the gym. So, and Jackie said that in her confessional, right? Like, at the time we were beefing, I needed to have something in my back pocket to kind of, again, ammunition. She said that's the name of the game. She met with the ex. But it was just, I have to be honest overall with you guys. I told you this before in my past podcast episodes. I am really nervous for Jackie. I do believe that she may be over her eating disorders, but it's almost like she traded in one addiction for another. She is addicted to being on this show. I truly believe that. Like, she will make friends with whoever to be on this show. And she was on the outs with Margaret, and she clung to Jen and Teresa and kind of like wiped her brain of all the beefing that went on with her and Teresa. When she comes into any scene, she has to jump in. Hi, I'm here. She was mad that Melissa didn't give her a dress to wear to her show. It's like, she was mad at Danielle when she got demoted to friend of, and just mad at Danielle because Danielle was the new housewife. It's concerning that she will do anything to stay on this show. We haven't seen Evan much this season. Not going to say there's anything going on with them. I did see him on her page when she had her book signing recently. But I think, too, like, he's been probably dealing with the whole eating disorder and her working through that for years. And now there seems to be something else, in my opinion, in my gut. Again, this is only my thoughts, that she is, like, addicted to being on this show. I honestly do believe that. And I'm concerned for her, as well as the amount of backlash that she's getting at this point for meeting with Louis' ex. If y'all go to her comment section, they are going in on her. Her comment section is in shambles. I don't know if she turned it off yet, but her comment section, when I looked last night, y'all was going hard. Not saying y'all on my live, but just in general, like the public was going real hard in her comments. So I'm concerned the effect that could have on her. I really am. When she walked out of that dinner last night, she definitely looked like, how Dolores said, she definitely looked like she needed a diaper. Like she had shit in pants. When she went to the end of the, going to the parking lot, she saw Margaret was still in the parking lot. She backed up. I was like, holy shit. Definitely was a shocker, jaw dropper. It's never the one that you think, right? We definitely was thinking it was Margaret the whole time. Never thought that Jackie would sit down with Louis' ex. Again, I'm not surprised by it because they were beefing. I think I'm more surprised that Teresa took it so lightly. That Teresa continued to be friends with her. And this was taped months and months and months and months ago, and we still see that they are hanging out and things like that. Teresa did no promo last night of the show. She didn't comment, didn't say anything. Everybody else posted that the finale was coming. She's out in Mykonos, Greece with Louis doing their thing. They was at a Travis Scott concert last night. But she said absolutely nothing about it. Not even in support of Jackie. So I don't know if she's seeing it now and people's reaction and kind of second guessing it. But I was surprised that she wasn't at least upset with Jackie. And that she continued a friendship. So we'll see next week. When they have their unconventional reunion, they're going to sit down in groups with their friend groups and watch the season finale, and we'll get their real-time reactions. I gave y'all a sneak peek of that last night. But overall, I think it was a really good reunion. Margaret came out the GOAT, I will say. And I don't really be checking for Margaret. It's not that I don't like her, but I don't be checking for her last night. But she really impressed me these last 2 episodes. I will say that. With the funeral arrangement and her dropping that bomb about Jackie, she really impressed me. And then her, like I said, her famous quote now, she has coined, "You subpoenaed the wrong bitch." I cannot wait. I need that on a t-shirt right now, Margaret. Put that on a t-shirt, girl, and get your coins. But we'll see that. I did also post and let you guys know that filming will be paused for Real Housewives of New Jersey until 2025. No decisions will be made until then on who stays, who goes when they do the reboot or refresh of Real Housewives of New Jersey. So they are on pause at this point. I will say, I went into it thinking, I went into the finale thinking that Teresa and Jen may be cut. That was just my opinion, because Andy seemed really annoyed with them as far as this whole stuff going on offline with the bloggers and them, paying bloggers to drop stories or whatever. It's been, there's a lot of that been shown, text messages where they are digging up dirt, paying bloggers, buying them strollers, taking them on shopping sprees, things like that, for them to post negative stories about, Rachel Fuda, her husband, Margaret, etc. It seemed like Andy was annoyed with that. In all honesty, at this point, after watching the finale, all of them have had some type of conversation, whether it be with bloggers, Louis' exes, they all have kind of been working behind the scenes to get dirt on each other. So I'm not sure now, but I did feel like, Teresa and Jen may be cut and it may be left with Melissa, Margaret, Dolores, Danielle, and Rachel. That was definitely my thoughts. But we'll see. All of them are guilty of it at this point. So I guess it's in the hands of the producers. But yeah, they are paused until 2025. We'll see where it goes from there. We'll watch the unconventional, I keep calling it that, unconventional reunion next Sunday. But this is the end of an era, guys. I was sad all day yesterday knowing that this would be the last time that we'll see this whole cast together outside of next week's unconventional reunion. But no matter how you feel about any one person, if you don't like Teresa, if you don't like Melissa, I personally don't have an issue with any of them. Like why I hate one or I don't like one. I really, at the end of the day, these women have held this franchise down for over a decade. All the women that have come and gone on the show from day one. I'm a day one watcher of Real Housewives of New Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl myself. So no matter how you feel, they've been holding it down, you know, and it's sad to see it end this way. It just seemed like a lot of outside noise, bloggers, you know, Louis' exes, all of that stuff, Margaret's ex-best friend, a lot of outside noise that really impacted this show. I personally would keep all of them at this point with the finale and what we saw. But, you know, we'll see what decisions are made in 2025. Also, Real Housewives of New York is coming back soon. I gave you just a little teaser last night on my page, posted that Real Housewives of New York will be coming back. But this is the end, y'all, of season 14, Real Housewives of New Jersey. You know, again, if you didn't get to watch this full video, it will be up soon as this live ends. We are streaming live right now across YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. It will be on my YouTube channel for you to watch the full video. Comment, let me know your thoughts about the season finale last night. I'll be back tomorrow with another midday tea talk for Basketball Wives LA, recapping tonight's episode. I gave you a sneak peek of tonight's episode on my page. You can watch it right now. So make sure that you guys click the link in my bio, subscribe to my YouTube channel, support, you see my Cash App there in the corner, support Reality Recap, help me continue to grow, promote, and a free way that you can is just tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe. And midday tea talks are happening daily at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going over whatever episodes aired the night before. So again, I'll be back tomorrow, Basketball Wives. And then we'll have Wednesday, we'll go over Real Housewives of Dubai. And yeah, you know, we'll keep doing that. Thursdays, I have my full podcast episode on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going over all the breaking news and reality TV world. And Fridays, we go over Real Housewives of Orange County. So make sure you're checking my page for all of the shows, the midday tea talks, and the podcast on Thursday nights. Always streaming live across Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will be back tomorrow for another midday tea talk with V from Reality Recap. You guys have an amazing day. Prime said, Marge, you subpoenaed the wrong bitch. Yes, honey, I need it on a t-shirt immediately. Y'all have a good day, y'all. Watch the full video if you didn't get to see it on YouTube right now. Peace.